the man has taste. Who knew? The gig tonight was this little indie band in the basement under Aaron's local. Though apparently it's pretty trendy and loads of big names have had their start there. The manager was really passionate about it and showing all these old photos. That's it. We ran into some of Aaron's friends afterwards, which was really nice for him. A little bit less so for me. You know how it is when you're the awkward hanger-on in a group of strangers. But clearly it was good for him. I mean, I know I don't know him that well, but it was like Mr. Suit and Tie didn't even exist. He always seemed so serious and weighed down, but clearly seeing these guys was good for him in some way. Certainly more successful than the last time I saw my home friends. I was glad I went in the end. It was nice to see a different part of London. Aaron grew up here, so we were practically in the suburbs, and it was nice to feel like a normal person again and not me who's grieving and panicking and lost. But then as the evening was winding down and I'm thinking about calling it, I see George walk through the door, and George works with me at the bar and he is king of the douche parade. And I'm hoping that I can just blend in with the wallpaper, but no such luck. The bar is too quiet for him to avoid me now as he comes swaggering over. Well, what have we got here? Are you going to introduce me to your friend? I can already tell that this is going to be uncomfortable. George, this is Aaron. Aaron, this is George. Done my work. Nice to meet you. I can assure you, nothing about this is nice. Well, you do move fast, don't you, Lexie? What's that supposed to mean? Say it to my face, arsehole. Oh, nothing. But, Adam, was it? Don't get too attached. Right, well, I don't want to interrupt. Enjoy your night, or morning. And just like that, the whole evening is ruined. I am regretting ever leaving the house. I'm definitely regretting sleeping with Zach, and I am starting to regret moving to London in the first place. And then I meet Aaron, and I see that we can't just breeze past this. What was that all about? Nothing, just some dickhead from work. But what do you mean, don't get too attached? Does he think we're dating? Maybe, probably, it wouldn't have been about you anyway. Time for honesty. I had a one-night stand with a guy from work, and a couple of other guys have been making hints, comments, and I guess that was just more of the same. I can't tell if he's judging me. I'd be judging me. Lexie, is this why you were crying the other night? Oh. Maybe. But it's fine, honestly, it's really no big deal. Lexie, this guy made you cry on a tube platform and you're saying it's no big deal. Fuck him. You don't have to put up with this. Right, and what would I do? There was really nothing I can do about it. Believe me, if I stopped men like that bothering me, it would make my life a whole lot easier. There is something you can do. You can quit. Like, you can get away from that awful job with those horrible people. And do what? I still gotta make rent, haven't I? And there's not exactly any headhunters knocking down my door. Alright, so get a job in another bar. I mean, they're literally hiring in this one right now. Look, at least you wouldn't have to put up with the likes of George making you cry every other day. He didn't push it, but he has kind of got a point, right? Because there is no reason to stay in my current job except money, and the money is really not that good. It might not be the big change that I'm hoping for, but if I never have to see George or Zach again, it will be too soon. missed him. Have I just will come by this way to meet up with Aaron and get my usual coffee from Marie. Gotta use those points. But it is a little bit out of the way for my new job. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mention I've got a new job? I applied to that bar we were in the other week. I've been listening to some of the bands that the manager recommended, and I thought it might get me a few brownie points. But he already remembered me, which is lovely. I did have to do a trial shift, but if there is one thing I can do, it's mixed drinks. So I've been there about 3 weeks now. My co-workers all seem lovely so far, but I am keeping things strictly professional this time round. I mean, how close can you get to someone when most of your conversations go, I'm sorry, did you have a chance to cut more lemons yet? But at least the slower pace means I can chat to customers a bit more. I can get to know some of the regulars. Speaking of which, one of the guys that we met when I went with Aaron to that gig came in the other day, and I didn't think he'd recognise me, but he did, and we started chatting. I was kind of hoping that you guys were on a date when I saw you. Would have explained a few things. Well, now colour me intrigued. What do you mean? Well, we haven't really seen much of Aaron since he and Lola split up. Like, he's not really a very emotional guy, so we didn't want to push it, but he started coming and hanging out here, and he didn't tell any of us where he moved to after he left their place. I've tried texting him a few times, but he's always too busy to hang out. Guess he's just a bit too big for us now, you know? Big man in the city. But I saw the look on his face when he saw his friends again. I've had that face, and I don't know what else might be going on, but I don't want to see him cut himself off. Here it comes. Hey! Guess who came into the bar the other night? Ben? From the gig? Wasn't that a fun night? Yeah, I guess. Well, it's a start. He said that you used to hang out at the bar together a lot. Maybe now I work there, you guys can make it over more often. Yeah. Maybe. God, this is painful. I'm sorry. Is there something I'm missing here? Like, were you just being polite the other night? No. It was really good to see them. So then, what's the problem? When I was with Lola, we used to hang out together as one big group. So when we split up, I didn't want them to have to pick sides. I get it now. Well, I don't know if they're picking sides, but I do know they're your friends and they miss you. Okay. Maybe I'll give Ben a call. There's something more I can tell. But what if I show up and she's there? Well, then you come up to the bar, hang out with me, and I give you free depression shots to numb the pain. At least that one's an easy fix. Straight out of my own coping toolkit. Life in the city is hard enough without avoiding friends who actually want to see you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
I need some advice, right? Because I'm not good at just making decisions and then just going for it, but Aaron said something today that I've just been turning over in my mind. Gary, will you knock it off with the really dramatic music, please? I swear to God, I will come back there and take my fiver back. I don't care if buskers don't give refunds. So, we haven't had much of a chance to see each other since that gig. You know, how it is with jobs and everything. But I know that he's spent time with some of his old home friends because I saw him and Ben leaving the bar when I came into work the other day. Which is great. I am really happy for him. But it does get a bit lonely going on solo dates when solo dates are your only option. So it was nice to see him today. Aaron's not exactly short on money, but he doesn't seem to mind that most of the things I want to do are free. So we mostly just wander around museums and galleries, find our lookalikes, make up alternative captions for the exhibits, that sort of thing. And we're in the National Gallery today, right? In one of those rooms where the Renaissance paintings are literally floor to ceiling. And there's one just opposite the door. It's called the Adoration of the Shepherds. It's an nativity scene, and there's a baby Jesus, quite literally shining in the middle. I will never know how people do that with paint. But as we're looking at it, this woman comes by, pulls out a set of rosary beads, and starts saying a prayer to herself. It's a weirdly private moment, and I feel kind of privileged to witness it. I can tell that Aaron feels the same. Imagine being able to have that kind of impact on someone 400 years after you've died. The funny thing about grief is that you think it's all gone, you think you pushed it down, and then one word from someone can bring it right back up. Are you alright? You've gone quiet. That's not like you. I don't know what it is about this man that makes me want to spill my guts to him repeatedly, but there is something that makes me want to tell him everything. I guess it's easier when I can avoid eye contact and just stare at the painting instead. My gran died a few months ago, and I found out that she'd been an aid worker. All around the world, there were people everywhere who knew her name and were grateful to her and cared about her, and I don't think I've had that. I don't think I'm making an impact, and I guess I wish I was just doing something like that with my life. So do it. As if it's that easy. Lexie, anyone who spends 5 minutes with you can tell that you are bright, you are capable, caring. Clearly you could do anything you set your mind to, but if you want to be an aid worker, you've got to be the one to do it. So what would you do? Right, because we are talking a whole career change here, and I do look through job websites occasionally, mostly when the customer's been stingy on tips, but it's never that serious. I usually just read the job description and then slam the lid of my laptop down in despair. But when Aaron said it seemed possible, I'm gonna do it. I keep talking this big talk about making a difference and having an impact, and then I couldn't even quit a very clearly toxic bar job without a shove from Aaron, and that advice turned out okay, so it's gotta mean something, right? No one ever made a difference just standing around on a tube platform, so first thing tomorrow I will go to the recruitment centre and I will become an aid worker. I wonder if I could get Aaron to look over my CV, give it a bit of a polish.